from RP, making an important point, I think. I've heard it said we've been lulled into believing we're not poor because while the cost of living is expensive, our luxuries are cheap. I remember in the 80s when rent was cheap, but every luxury cost a fortune. If you had a microwave and a VCR, you were a king. If you had a Sega or a Nintendo, you're pretty much the 1%. Those things were so expensive. But rent was $200 a month. When I was 8, we lived in a 5-bedroom farmhouse with servant quarters, a spiral staircase, and a room we simply referred to as the ballroom. My parents recently told me they paid $250 a month in rent for that house. But we couldn't afford a color TV because that was rich people stuff. If you saved the money you'd spend on those luxuries in the 80s, you could really get ahead. That's worth 6 months of rent. Now, my rent is $3,000 a month, but if I want an entertainment system, a cell phone, every TV show and movie at my fingertips, and a vacation, I can have them. So I feel very privileged. But I'm still poor because rent is squeezing me dry. If I took away all those luxuries, I might save 3 weeks of rent. It's like George Carlin said, there are 2 political parties, 2 oil companies. But if I want a bagel, I got 23 flavors to choose from. We've been duped into the illusion of choice, and we've been duped into the illusion of riches. Capitalism is flailing on its deathbed. This is not sustainable for 99% of the population, which leaves us the 1%, doesn't it, RP? And I'm glad you shared it with us, your rant, and bringing back an important point that George Carlin made back then and has not lost any of its point. It's perfect. You nailed it. I'm thrilled. Thank you.